Welcome everyone to the Wheels Museum and New Mexico Railroad Days. It's very, very busy here today, and so I don't know what you all are doing, but we would love it if you were here with us, and also tomorrow we will be open. This morning as I drove into the parking lot, there was a man parked with a cute little doggy named Ricky, and we got to talking, and it turns out he's a very prominent person in the railroad world and in other worlds. And so I asked him, just ad lib, if he would come and do the podcast with me today. And his name is Richard Einhorn, and we're very happy that you come to visit us in Albuquerque. We do get many, many people from all over the world, but you're especially interested in N-scale and other kinds of trains, and you're making some donations of those to us today, for which we're very grateful. So we're very happy to have you here. So welcome to Albuquerque. And would you tell us, why did you come to see us today? Tell us about that.
Right, so I've been traveling, thank you for having us here today.
Pleasure.
We've been traveling in the United States videotaping trains. A lot of it's been BNSF on the main line with double stack along I-40 here.
Okay.
And on our trip, people, instead of me looking for things, I rely on people who watch us on Facebook. We do a thing called the Train Show on Facebook, and I rely on people just to tell us things that might be happening. And it wasn't even, what's interesting is it wasn't even a model railroader. It was a friend of mine that I've known for many years, and she knew I liked trains and saw it happening. I believe she lives in Albuquerque.
Oh, good.
So she actually forwarded that to me on Facebook, and I actually came here because the heritage seemed like it was at the museum, and that's how I wound up here, and it's unbelievable, folks. I told you, I was crying.
So can you imagine? That's so kind. That means the world to us. We've been doing this 30 years as volunteers, so to have a wonderful visitor like this come in and start crying is very, very meaningful. And I do feel like there is more and more interest all the time now in railroads and model rails. Are you finding that as you travel? And
right, we started the TV show in 1996, and originally it was on model trains, because on Long Island, our train was a diesel with possibly like 6 to 8 freight cars. Out here you get 100 to 200 freight cars. So I wasn't used to actually videotaping large size trains, so as we traveled the United States and started to see the large size trains, that caught our eye. And then we accidentally caught the big boy in Wells, Nevada. That was a pleasant surprise. And coming here, I plan on spending the next 4 or 5 days videotaping all of the things. So what I learned is Wheels is we have everything everyone loves spinning.
that's correct. We're an acronym. So
that's great.
if you want to take pictures of cars or trains or airplanes, we're about all of that.
Or spinning wheels.
Or spinning wheels or roller
I
skates
caught that.
or Ferris wheels or any of that. When we teach children, I always ask them to name something with wheels, and it's amazing how many different things they can come up with. We have tractors in here and all kinds of railroad equipment. So, yeah.
Right, and I
Couldn't
heard
get along
you
without
have,
'em.
right, you have the 2926 here?
Yes, today and tomorrow, the 2926 steam locomotive is here.
Wait, a full-size steam locomotive?
It weighs 1 million pounds.
1 million?
Yeah, it weighs about 1 million pounds with its tender, and its home originally was here.
Okay.
Yeah, and then it went into a park for many, many, many years. And then a group of men about 20 years ago decided to save it, and they spent $1 to buy it. And they've spent about $3.5 million to repair it, get it going.
That's
in 20
great.
years. So yeah, and by contract it's supposed to come back to this home when it's all finished. So we're working on security and many issues that we need to get it home permanently.
That's great.
Yeah.
Now, I'm from Long Island,
Yeah.
and on Long Island, it's locomotive 35. There's locomotive 35, steam locomotive 35, and steam locomotive 39. 35 has been relocated to the town of Oyster Bay, all the way on the northern side of Long Island. They have a turntable that operates there, but it's the same type of story where it was Steve Tarborg and then Gary Farkash, the 2 people that started this. They saw a locomotive rusting away.
Exactly.
The county actually got rid of it and disposed of it somewhere, and they actually rehabbed it to some degree, and we did a video of it being transported, which was pretty exciting.
Now, would we have access to those videos you have?
Absolutely.
How would we see those? How? Okay, tell us how we could see them.
Right, so some of my videos are on YouTube under the Train Show. So if you do the Train Show and then Richard Einhorn, it's easier to find because of the search engines. And then also on Facebook, we have things that we're videotaping every day here around,
Wonderful.
well, we've been traveling the United States. So this is the 23rd state we've been in.
Great.
And this is the second time we're back in New Mexico and Albuquerque. I really enjoyed it here.
Well, I'm trying to get him to move here.
I might be. It's
You see?
I'll stay for 6 months or so.
There you
maybe,
go.
maybe
There you go.
longer.
And then when you stay for 6 months, you will never leave.
You know
That's
when
for sure.
people ask, like, how did you wind up in this town?
Right.
Well, this might be the story.
This might be the story. That's exactly right. Because we get people from all over the world, and so many are moving to Albuquerque.
You've done so much.
Oh, you're so kind. Thank
Well,
you.
tell us a little bit. I mean, I know this is usually now about the guest spot, but how about what have you been doing here for the last?
Well, I've told it, of course, before, but since we don't know each other,
Right.
I'm the person really who saved this property, and I started it 30 years ago in 1994, and we've been in 7 locations for the museum, but we've been here since 2008. We had a developer who wanted to tear all the buildings down.
Why did you want to start it though?
Why did I want to start?
What's
My
the-
family came in 1920, and we had a business here for about 90 years, and I wanted to give back to the community. So I've been working on community things, not only this, but other projects and other boards for a long time, about 50 years. I love Albuquerque, and I want New Mexico to be the very, very best that it can be, and it's really made some major improvements with the current mayor and with others, and we want to get better and better. We're trying to get the big machine shop next to us, which is 800,000 feet. We're working with the federal government, state, city, and others to make that happen and make a major national attraction here. And we've done studies that show 1 million people a year will come if we do that. So some very nice lady today who's visiting said, oh, this building is so big, but this building is only 21,000 feet. So we are turning down exhibits, airplanes, automobiles, trains, exhibits. The city came in the other day, do you have room for more fire trucks? We don't have the room. So we are trying to expand to serve more people from around the world. That's what we're doing. So when you come to visit us, it means the world to us that you're here and you're considering staying, you're giving us donation. You brought your little nice doggy. Doggies are always welcome in here. And we have a lot of children here today, and so we're doing all we can to help each other for the community.
Right, so I did a quick tour this morning without you. I walked through the building.
Good.
And I saw ZN, talking about train scales, ZN, let's see, HOOS, which is American Flyer. I'm trying to think large scale. I also saw large scales running around when you first, or it's running around the ceiling, so to speak, when you first walk in. And then all the way in the back, wait, there's also some live steam that you would sit on, but they're static, that are just sitting there. One looks like it was pressurized. You could run
Right.
some of the cylinders a little bit.
And you saw the O gauge, the huge O gauge?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The O gauge, and then you recently added American Flyer, the S gauge,
That's
to
right.
the O gauge.
Exactly. And then we have a real train that goes around that takes 25 people at a time.
Oh yeah.
That was given to us by a man named Don Morgan, and he made that train and he gave it to us. So it's done thousands of rides around the exhibit. And then we have a full-size train car that was used for a movie.
Right, so you told me there's so many things to see here that you can't, or it's hard to absorb it all the first time, so people come back time and time again.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, every time, from what I saw, every time you walk through this place, you'll see something that you didn't see before. And there are a few things that, so I want to tell people what really excited me the most.
Thank you.
Because what excited me the most was in one of your train exhibits, they have hot air balloons, and to make them operate, and in other words, they don't really operate under hot air, but they're hung by monofilament or like fishing line, and to make them go up and down, there's this whole cam process with arms that move up and down, and that was like the original way that animatronics and some of animated scenes were done in model railroads. And I love seeing the old technology and the way it was put together to make things happen. And I'm sure, like, that was just one thing that really got to me, and I'm sure I'm going to find another dozen as I look around.
That's wonderful. Yeah, that train layout that you're talking about, that HO, was made by men in Clovis, New Mexico. We've had it about 20 years, and those men were 80 years old when they made it. So you're absolutely right. If you come to Wheels Museum and you ask us, we'll let you go behind the scenes, and you'll see it's just as interesting in the back as it is in the front.
So I was in Clovis, New Mexico. I actually videotaped their model railroad. The Model Railroad Club in Clovis, New Mexico is located in a mall. And then some of the modules, it could be taken down and moved to another display
Yes,
if they
yeah,
have to.
yeah, we do that sometimes. We go to libraries or shows, or the mayor calls, he's having an event, come over and, show modules, so we do a lot of that kind of thing too.
Right, now some of your volunteers here are actually model railroaders?
Many of them, and we work with the model train clubs, and we work with model car clubs, and model airplane clubs, and real size clubs, so we do a lot of events in here and club meetings. So
That's
you're
great.
always welcome to come and be part of all of that. You can always call us. I'm at 243-6269, 505-243-6269 if you want information. And we're open Monday through Thursday morning, 9 to 12, and Saturdays and Sundays, 9 to 2.
And you have birthday parties here.
Today we have a big birthday party. One of my volunteers said, why did you make a birthday party when we're so busy? Well, it was the kid's birthday.
Yeah.
So I had to do it.
Yeah.
So we're happy to do that.
Hey kids, change your birthday.
Change your birthday. We had a birthday party for a 90-year-old one time. We have it for children all the time, and musical events all the time, and all kinds of book signings and exciting things happening.
Oh, I saw your library.
Oh, we have 3 libraries. We have a car library, train library, and children's free books.
Oh, I was just looking at the train.
You looked at the train.
the train
Yeah.
library.
One of our volunteers recently, I'm going to kill you if you get any more train books. We get them. Well, of course, he's kidding me, and we love them, and we do have them. We have a gift shop, and we sell them also.
Okay.
Yeah, sell things. Sometimes we sell donations.
Yeah, I brought a few things to donate
Thank
to
you very much. That means so much to us. Yeah, that's how we exist. You're not giving me the dog, I bet, but it's an awfully cute little doggy, precious little doggy. Yeah, did you go on a train ride? You can go on a free train
We
ride.
went on the flyer from
Oh, wow.
Berlin up to Santa Fe on Wednesdays.
You mean the rail runner?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I said
The rail
flyer. Right.
Yeah, the rail runner.
It looks like what's that?
Looks like the road runner.
Yeah. It looks like
Yeah.
they used the Roadrunner head sort of.
Oh yeah. And when
Right.
when the horn honks for that, it sounds like a road runner.
Right, like BB when they
Beep, beep.
close the doors.
State bird.
And we took it for free on Senior Day. We are.
yeah, it's
I'm a
wonderful.
senior. She's
Sure.
not a senior. I mean,
And she went on also.
yeah.
Good.
They just wanted me to have her on a.
Okay. Oh, that's good.
It was a
rail runner-
beautiful ride and
Oh,
free on a Wednesday.
Magnificent.
Folks, just if you're ever here, take it on a Wednesday if you're a senior. It's a great ride.
It's so much fun. It's a wonderful ride. Yeah. And Rail Runner is a sponsor of Wheels Museum, so we work a great deal with them, and very grateful to be working with them.
Now, if people show up next weekend, they'll happen to see the 150th is an annual International Hot Air
Oh, the
Balloon.
hot air balloons
I don't know if
coming.
it's the 150th, but yeah.
Oh, absolutely
The
right.
International Hot Air
That's right.
Balloon Festival.
Magnificent. And then we'll be open, of course.
Yeah.
So you're welcome to come in here
That'd be
and
great.
see our hot air balloons, as you mentioned, here in the museum.
That's why
That's
when
right.
I saw that, I thought that was great. So when I first saw the hot air balloons, I wasn't even thinking of them moving. When I walked around the back,
And then you saw
because
Hollywood.
when I got here, the railroad was static because it wasn't open yet in the morning. I was
That's
here
right.
first
Came
thing in
really
the
early.
morning.
Yeah.
I was here before you.
That's right. And one never knows what will interest people. You can't guess if they like the big train, the little train, the balloon. So please come and visit us and see what you fall in love with.
And don't forget to see the spinning wheel.
Oh yeah, spinning wheel, of course. That's part of progress.
Well, thank you for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure to have you. Thank you for coming to visit us. Thank you so much. So let me tell you a few things that are coming up. On the 12th of October, John Taylor will speak here at 10 o'clock in the morning about the Civil War in New Mexico. And if you've not heard him, you've really missed something. He's a fabulous, fabulous, interesting speaker. And the Civil War in New Mexico is a very important topic that we don't all know about or discuss. So I'm hoping you'll come for that. On the 26th of October, we're doing something very unusual but very fun. It's a bead show. It's a bead jewelry show. And I have found the Bead Society decades ago, and they're coming in to sell jewelry to benefit the Wheels Museum. So I hope that you'll come. That's 10 to 2 on the 26th of October. Come and see beautiful jewelry and buy something, and that will benefit the Wheels Museum and be a lot of fun. On November 2nd, we have Greg Hasman coming in at 11 o'clock. He is a writer for the Journal newspaper, and there was an article about him recently. He has traveled 75,000 miles in New Mexico. So he's coming in to give us a talk about all these road trips that are potential for people, and it's going to be a lot of fun too. That's 11 o'clock. On the 9th of November, we have Ron Perea at 11. He's going to talk about Route 66. He's one of our favorite speakers. He's written many books, and he's here today, and a wonderful volunteer, and he's going to talk about Route 66. On the 23rd, Baker Morrow is coming. He is a prominent architect here. He's been a professor at UNM for 50 years. and he's going to talk about a new book which he has written about motorcycle stories of Albuquerque. And that's going to be a wonderful event. That's at 10. And at 12, we're having George Russell come in to play music. So that will be a busy day on the 23rd of November. So we hope that you will come. On the 7th of December, we're doing a holiday party with United Way. And if you're interested in that, please call me, 243-6269. And that will be a fundraiser for Wheels and for the United Way. So thank you all for listening. Come and see us. 1100 2nd Southwest at the south end of the rail yards downtown. Thanks to everybody. I want to thank you, especially Richard, for coming today. It was a wonderful surprise to meet you, and we're already friends, and Ricky's already our friend, and she had a biscuit. So I know you're going to pitch in just as if you'd been here forever. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Pleasure.